Ashes of secrets, the golden key, and the house where truth was waiting. A complete and continuous story, written in one breath. The morning Ariella Lavelle returned to her aunt's estate, she felt as if the world had shifted beneath her feet. The old house towered above the silver surface of Lake Lavelle, glowing softly in the first light of dawn. It looked less like a building and more like a memory preserved in wood and stone, ancient, watching, waiting. 2 days before her death, Aunt Luana had sent Ariella a single sentence: "If you receive the key, trust no one." And Ariella received exactly that, a small golden key with the number 12 carved into it. As she stepped inside the house, something about the air felt heavy, dense, as if saturated with unfinished stories. Before she could take off her coat, a tall figure stepped from the shadows, her cousin, Kalon. His dark coat hung like a storm around him, and his eyes gleamed with a cold, hungry sharpness. "Let me guess," he said quietly. "You got a letter too." "No," Ariella replied. "Just the key." Kalon smiled a thin, brittle smile and pulled an identical golden key from his pocket, tossing it onto the table. "That's why we're here," he muttered. Luana had a safe hidden in this house. Inside were the documents for her inheritance. She left behind 18 million lorins. But she never told any of us who gets it. The number struck Ariella like a sudden gust of wind. She had left this country 10 years ago after a devastating family scandal. Talon, meanwhile, had always hungered for power, over the family, over the hotel empire, over everything. Before she could respond, another voice entered the room. Quiet, steady, familiar. Aunt Luana left more than keys. Ariella turned, and her breath caught. It was Elian, the man she once loved, the man who vanished without a goodbye, the nephew of Luana's late husband. He stepped forward, silver eyes intense. "She left me a letter," he said, holding a worn note. "She knew trouble was coming, and she wanted us three to find the truth together." He handed the note to Ariella. "The truth is not in the safe. It is in the people who open it." A shiver ran down her spine. Together they entered Luana's study. The house creaked as if aware of their every move. Paintings lined the walls. Dust hung like mist. In the center stood an old wooden desk, and on it a music box. Ariella inserted her key. A soft, haunting melody began to play. At that exact moment, the curtains blew open, though the windows were shut. Behind them was a hidden niche, and in the niche, a heavy iron safe with 3 keyholes. "Our keys," Ariella whispered. They inserted them at once. A sharp click echoed. The safe swung open. Inside was only a single envelope and a small USB drive. Kalon lunged for the envelope, but Elian caught his wrist and pulled it away. "No more games," he said, and opened the document. It was the inheritance. All 18 million lorins left to someone, but the name was smeared with ink, intentionally obscured. Elian inserted the USB into his laptop. A video appeared. Luana looked tired but calm. "If you are watching this," she began, "it means I am gone. One of you was willing to do anything, even commit a crime, to take what I built. I could not allow that. So I chose an heir based on heart, not hunger." Her eyes softened. "The true heir is the one who touches the envelope without desire for riches. Only then will the name appear." Silence. All eyes fell on the envelope. Elian held it, but he looked at Ariella. "You never wanted this," he whispered. "Not wealth. Only answers." Ariella touched the paper. Warmth spread beneath her fingertips. Slowly, the ink dissolved, and her name emerged, Ariella Lavelle. Kalon roared in fury. The truth later revealed he had threatened Luana, tried forging signatures, and even attempted to seize property in advance. Elian placed a gentle hand over Ariella's trembling one. "You earned this," he murmured. "She saw your heart. She always did." Ariella closed her eyes. The house seemed to exhale, soft, relieved. She was the heir, but her story was far from over. In the days that followed, the estate buzzed with lawyers, archivists, and investigators, and soon an unexpected guest arrived. A young woman with a heavy backpack and a braid down her shoulder stood at the gates. "My name is Salin," she said quietly. "Luana helped me for years. I came to say goodbye." Ariella felt an immediate tenderness toward her. Something about her reminded her of herself many years ago. Alone, uncertain, searching for belonging. "You're welcome here," Ariella told her gently. Luana never cared for strangers unless they were family in her heart. But Saylin's arrival stirred something deeper. That night in the study, they discovered a small silver music box hidden beneath a bookshelf, Luana's handwriting on top. Saylin opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a letter and a photograph. A little girl in an orphanage. Saylin paled. "That's me. But why would Luana keep this?" Elian placed a hand on her shoulder. "Because she knew your truth before you did." A second letter was addressed to Ariella. "If Saylin comes, she is family. Her mother hid the truth, but the girl carries Lavelle blood. Protect her. Be to her what I was to you." Saylin's eyes filled with tears. Grief and relief tangled together. "You're not alone," Ariella whispered. "Not anymore." Then another man appeared. Adrian, the family hotel chain's new financial director. His news was alarming. "There is money missing from the family foundation," he said. 2 million lorins, gone. All eyes turned to Kalon, but Adrian shook his head. No, it wasn't him. The transfer was made by Luana to a small private fund with only one registered beneficiary. He placed a file on the table. Saylin Lavelle. The room froze. Saylin covered her mouth. She had never known. Never even imagined. Another USB was found. Another video. Luana, smiling gently. "I opened a fund for Saylin. It supported her studies and her life. She never asked for it, and that is why she deserved it. Do not let her face the world alone." Everything became clear. There was no conspiracy, no manipulation, only love, quiet, steady, brave. Even Kalon's anger faded. He approached Saylin slowly. "I was chasing money," he admitted. "Luana chased hearts. She was wiser than all of us. Let me help you, if you'll let me." Saylin nodded through her tears. "Not for money," she whispered. "For her." Spring touched the estate with gold when Ariella opened the house of Luana Lavelle, a sanctuary for young people without families. The first funding, 3 million lorins from Ariella, 2 million from the fund Luana left Saylin. Adrian became the foundation's director. Kalon managed new outreach projects with humility he never had before. Elian stayed with Ariella, their long-buried love finally allowed to breathe. And Saylin became the very symbol of Luana's legacy. At the opening ceremony, she spoke softly, voice trembling but strong. "Luana didn't give me money. She gave me a history and a family, and that is a wealth no currency can measure." Ariella squeezed her hand, and for the first time, the estate felt alive again, not haunted by secrets, but illuminated by futures yet to be written. The house on the lake finally stopped guarding the past and began guarding hope instead.